They like your shit. See, I was over you.
Oh, that's why.
Dang it, don't twist at me here.
It wasn't fish.
It was me. Boy, I got you good. I thought I threw over you, but I didn't. I was like, no, there's no way. Gregory's got one.
Oh, did you guys all hear Gregory say fish on? We didn't either. Nice one, Gregory.
Come off of there.
David's over here doing macrame. Today on macrame with David Lemon. Do I still have a fish on here? I do still have a fish on there. How about that?
See, you had a fish. It wasn't me.
Well, hello and welcome to Monofilament Macrame with David Lemon, also known as Double Hook Angling. We are smack dab in the midst of the December lull here in central Kansas. Although the trout have finally decided to play a little, the rest of the fish have given us the middle fin. In this episode, we head back to Lake Afton to see if the White Perch had decided to go on strike like the rest of our fishy friends. Fortunately, there were a few that decided to cross the picket line and volunteer for Crisco Lake. To wrap things up, join David in the shop for a session of lead-melting, jig-head-pouring fun that even Tim the Tool Man would be proud of. The trout season opener is now playing on Pond Hopper Outdoors. The link for that channel is located in the description below. Remember to join us for Jigs and Coffee every Friday at 8:05 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've added more giveaways, so your chances of winning David's custom crappie slaying jigs and other awesome tackle has increased exponentially. As always, we appreciate you, and thanks for watching Double Hook Angling.
We got fish right on bottom. Good morning from Lake Afton. We decided to make another trip out here. Oh yeah, there we go. That's probably perch. There's probably crappies on bottom. Oh my gosh. There's definitely some fish down here this morning. It'd be great if those were crappies. Look at that. Wow. David and I decided we were going to come to Afton today before we go headlong into the winter trout season, before the ice comes on, in search of more white perch because they are delicious. And I still owe you guys a video on how I make my fish cakes out of the white perch. So hopefully we're going to catch a bunch today. It's looking promising. Look at all these fish. All right, let's get the lines in the water and see how this goes. I brought one of my little Lew's ultralight spinning reels in a King Hawk ice fishing rod. Now on it I have a slip rig, but because I was catching them on the drop shot 2 at a time last time, I have decided to run a drop shot rig. Let me unhook myself here. Seems to be a common theme lately. I'm running a 2-hook rig. I don't know how well you can see that. 2-hook drop shot rig. Just a little split shot at the end. And I'm hoping that perhaps we can double up more today. It is cold out here, so if I can get out here and get my fish before David and Gregory get here, that would be a win for sure. So We marked a bunch of fish down here, so let's see what we can find. Well, already had a bite. That's a good sign.
Now, as fate would have it, for reasons I still don't understand, somehow I managed not to record the biggest white perch I've ever caught at Lake Afton. Go figure.
That is a nice one. That's one of the biggest ones I've caught here. Good way to start the day. That was a nice white perch. Nicest one I've ever caught. That's something else I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you guys use Temu or not. I have a love-hate relationship with Temu. Some good stuff on there. It just takes forever to get it. But I did order these little clamshell waterproof boxes here recently. I bought 4 of them. I think I got 4 of them for less than 30 bucks. There's actually one of these going out in the 100 subscriber giveaway. If you haven't already registered for that, you can do so at www.pondhopper.tv. And I really like this because it keeps all of your tackle in place. The shelves don't leak through, or the compartments don't leak through one to the other. And so far, I've been super impressed with these boxes. I can keep my hooks, sinkers, perfect for a panfish setup. As you can see, everything I need is right here. You'll probably notice in the videos I'm not carrying that big PC Fun backpack anymore. It just got to the point where I got tired of lugging that thing around, so I've gone back to a minimalist approach to my tackle situation, and it is definitely serving me better, serving my back better too. It is time for some Jigs and Coffee.
I think that helps a little bit, but I don't know how much. I just hate the bright light. That's the problem, because then it affects me reading.
All right, there's another one
Here's a picture of my son.
on the drop shot.
See the big bar that goes around the grill?
Not a monster like
It's got side
the
bar.
last one, if these can be rated as monsters, but definitely an eater. So there's 2.
Side bar.
All right, there's number 3.
Choice, I'll just give him
They are not fast and furious this morning, but they are biting.
We'll let that run for a few minutes.
That one's a little smaller too, but
Now, don't forget though, next week we're gonna do the big giveaway.
I'm turning them
Next
into
week, we're gonna get some cranks.
fish cakes anyway, so if I can get meat off of them, they're going in the basket.
Finally, a fish! A fish! And it's a decent sized white perch.
It is a nice one.
It's an eater for sure.
Yeah.
Man, we've been working for him.
I just had a bite at the same time. That was out there further, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was out there a little further.
Yeah.
It's 2 fish 6 eyes.
Have you got your net?
No. You want to we can just load yours up.
Well, if you want to keep some.
I've got 22 cubic foot of freezer space full of 3 deer, a quarter of an ounce.
All right.
I mean, I need
Well, I'll
protein,
take them.
I want to see what your big one that you said you had in here. Oh, you do got a nice one.
Yeah, that was the first one I caught.
Man.
Isn't that a nice one?
Yeah, it is. I wish they were all like that. Your basket's all
right.
funkified again. Right on. Yeah, that's a dandy. Gregory finally got one.
I think he's got a fish somewhere out here in the water. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's a nice gill.
There you go.
Right on, Gregory. You can put that in the basket. Looks like I will be able to do my fish cakes video now. Got enough in there worth keeping. So that made 6 perch and a bluegill. Compliments of Gregory. Thank you, sir. All right. Well, not been a great bite today, but we are catching a few fish. Seems like the bite is picking up a little bit as the day progresses.
Getting darker.
It is getting darker. Yeah, I can't see it hitting 60 degrees today though. So on a day where it's been otherwise cold and windy, and Gregory's just been talking our ears off over here, you know, we changed tactics and started using fresh worms, and now the fish are biting again. Been kind of a strange day though. This is a good fish, whatever it is. Oh,
It's a shad.
it's a big old freaking shad.
I want some of him.
Did he actually hit a
Oh
worm?
yeah, they will once in a while.
Good grief.
Rick's caught a shad. They're big old gizzards.
Good grief, that is a big old shad. Look at that turd.
They gave you some excitement.
And yes, I just said turd.
Well, it's because it is a big turd.
It is a big
Oh, don't let
turd.
it leak on your seat.
Oh,
Your
that's-
butt will stink for a week.
Well, I have definitely learned how to catch the garbage fish at this place.
I think it's awesome. Because you know what's sitting right here?
So, as you can see, David has massacred that shad and put a nice little fillet of shad on there
So,
on the end of his rod.
what I do first is I cut across here and I cut down this and I'll cut it in half, but then I'll take the tail fillet, and when you do that it bleeds out like this, so you can wipe the blood on there and get as much scent as possible. So,
And the objective here is to catch a big catfish, correct?
yes,
All right, well, let's see.
or a hybrid.
Or a hybrid.
I would rather have the hybrid,
Yeah, because
but I'll take the catfish.
you could at least try to smoke a hybrid. Not a bad one.
At least they're back.
Yeah.
They're way out there.
Woo!
Look at that. You better mount that one, Rick.
That is a monster. Yeah, get a close up of him.
Here, let me back up so it look bigger.
Oh yeah. Camera tricks.
There you go.
Not bad for a slow day. He pounded the snot out of that.
He hit it hard.
That's it's a nice one too.
It's a nicer one. He was
Yeah, it
right
is.
up here. He was literally, and I put on a whole worm.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
tank.
nice one. Yeah. Yeah, if there is such a thing as a tank. White perch.
Well, I said tanky, so you know, a little bit
Tankish.
more. Yeah. For his white, I mean, that's still a 7-inch.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh,
solid
that might
white
be-
perch.
I might be almost 8.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know how you want to grab him. I'm going to get finned. Hold on.
There we go. It's one of the better ones of the day. May they have some lethal fins, man.
Oh yeah, they'll run that thing into the fin.
Yep.
I've learned to squeeze their gills shut.
Yep. That's usually how I do it. If you guys can see that or not, there's a heron chasing a seagull right there. They'll eat the seagulls, huh?
Oh yeah, if they can catch it, they'll eat it.
How about that?
Like
Camera
right
on.
there. But he was on the jig.
Oh, look at that.
He was on the yellow jig.
All right.
So it's like a gold head, and I mean, I tipped it with a worm, so he's got part of the worm.
Interesting. All right. You can probably throw him back. I think I've got all I'm going to keep. I've got plenty to clean.
Okay.
Unless I get a great big one. Gregory just casually sits on the deck, reeling in his fish. And it is a perch. Another white perch.
Okay, so I got this Shields Outfitters rod. It's their 1 series. It says medium light extra fast 4 to 10 pound line, 1/8 to 1/2 ounce lure. So these are like $220 rods. So, but my son bought this for me for Christmas, and he got it on special. So he only paid 120 bucks for it. But this is the first time my son ever bought me a gift like that for Christmas. It's always been like that $5 gift. But yeah, go to Shields, y'all. Check it out. They got some good gear. I've switched over, like 3 of my rods now are Shields, and I'm very, very impressed with them.
What you got, Gregory?
He was over that way that time, wasn't he? Towards the island.
He was out there a country mile. Yeah, little white perch.
Cold.
Over here cutting on a piece of shad, and it turns out that perch that he just caught there, he caught on a little piece of shad. You just never know what Gregory's going to fish with, but you can always rest assured he's going to catch fish. Well, considering everything, we ended up doing pretty good today. We fished for a while, but...
Well, me and Gregory been here 4 hours. You were here a couple more than that.
So
it's not a big haul, but it's a good haul.
That's what we got today.
Reel your stuff in, Greg.
So now we're gonna go home and clean these and turn them into fish cakes.
Okay, so this is kind of my mess that I have. As you can see, we got a couple lead pots there. There's a small lead pot here. So this has really pure lead. This has mostly pure, but a little bit of other. And then this is just Will weights. This and almost always exclusively, this is my big bank weights. So you can see I got big bank weights and stuff in there. So, but then this is for like my bigger jigs, 1/8 and bigger. And this is all for my tiny stuff. So like this here. And then you can see that I got, some of these are already colored up. And that's just kind of what I'm doing. So I figured, you know, we can put a little bit of this in a video along with some, you know, just show you what we got going on. So in order to color these, turn your heat gun on high and then get you a color. Actually, I'll do some chartreuse. But I tumble my jars like this. Now the heat gun is going, so you know you got to listen to over it, but it's going because you got to get it warmed up. This is an older gun. I burned it out, the other one out last year, and I found that if you just let them warm up and keep them running, don't just turn it off and on and off and on. And that jar is cracked, so the powder is going everywhere. That's all right. Okay, so jig head, I heat it up just a few seconds like that. Then I take and I side bump it, I tap it, side sweep it, I tap it. I'll put some heat to it, kind of get the head. I know I got to like twist around and stuff, but then it gets colored up. Now, and then we'll bake these off in the oven. But just to color these, like I said, grab it. I just put enough heat on it to hold the powder and dip it in the powder. Tap off a little bit. Heat the paint back up, get it smoothed out. Make sure to get a full cover, not clogging your little hole up. It don't matter if you get paint on the eye or not, but you want to be able to put your fishing line through it. So this is just kind of show you how I do my little setup. Gotta get a little contortionism in there to do that other side. Now, process is the same for bigger jigs. So that head needs to be filed a little better, but we'll show you. So there's a bigger jig. With these bigger weights, you just keep them under the heat a little bit longer, but you just want it hot enough that it'll hold that color, even if it don't shine out. So like, see, that's all dull, so that's not shined out. You can go back and you can go, heat it up, make it shiny if you want to use it real quick. So if you want to use that real quick, that's all you got to do, and then you can go use that jig. But the best way to do it is to bake them off in the oven, and I don't know if it necessarily hardens it up or what have you, but that's that's the idea. Is it's supposed to take whatever moisture that would be in there or whatever, or oil or plastic. I mean, it is a plastic because it's powder coat. But like I said, if I'm in a hurry, I'll just heat them up like that and let them go. They do chip a little easier when you bake them off in the oven. It just, I guess it just sets it better to where it cures slower or something. I don't know. I mean, all the aspects that are in all this, I just don't know. But that is basically the gist of that. So this jar's got a crack in it, so the lid is the jar is squeezing in when I cut it or tighten it up, because since it got cut, so I can't speak straight. I got fumbleism in the brain. So, but that's kind of that. And then as you can see, we just set them on there. We'll fill this whole thing up. That whole thing holds about 350 to 400 jigs, depending on the size. It'll only hold like 200 of the eighths. So, but that's just a baking tray, a cookie sheet, an old one that was getting a little bit, greased up and, what have you. The tray itself is still clean. It just, it's unsightly. So it became a shop tray. This is a baking rack, just, from box store. I don't even remember where. I think she probably got it from Wally World. But my heater's fixing to kick on, and I wanted to show you some other stuff. So we'll shut that off, and we'll turn it back on when it gets done doing its thing.